Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Driving with Duck, a New Year's Eve edition, actually. I don't traditionally celebrate New Year's Eve because personal reasons, really. I don't really subscribe to waiting until December 31st of whatever enumerated year to feel that feeling of newness and so on and so forth, and that feeling of accomplishment. Because you can have that on your birthday, you can have that on a random anniversary day, the day where your cancer went into remission, or the day you stopped drinking or stopped smoking. It doesn't have to be December 31st every day. But this year, given 2020 has been such a shit show for so many people, I think everybody's going to celebrate it more this year because it feels like there's a promise of a new day to come. You can literally just wash 2020 off and be like, ugh, I'm done with it. Because it was so traumatic for so many people, so many lives lost due to COVID. And you know, so many people showing their ass, because you learn a lot about a person by how they act on social media, how they act during a crisis, how they act when things are going well for themselves. You learn a lot about people, and I feel like in 2020, we all learned a lot about people. But given all that information I just said, so I was watching a show last night, and I don't even remember the context that it came in. And I came up with a quote while watching it. You can either make love or you can make life. I'll say it again. You can either make love or you can make life. Now, making love, you understand what love is, right? Most of us do. You have love for your family. You have love for someone else that you grow to fall in love with. But I've found, especially over a lot of times in my life, that a lot of people will say they're in love with you or say that they love you but do the most damage to you. Some people will say they're in love with you and that they've never experienced love until they met you, and then next thing you know, they meet somebody else and they're like, oh, I apologize. I have love for you, but the love that I thought we had didn't exist. See, that shit there is subjective, right? Making love is also in a physical sense too. You can make love with someone, but that has a beginning and an ending. It doesn't last forever, right? Depending on how short or long you are with the process, right? But love is very subjective. It's a personal mission, right? No one else can tell you what you feel when it comes to love, right? Nobody else can tell you how to show someone else that you're making love to them, right? It's supposed to be a different experience. But when you're making life is yours alone, but you can project that onto other people, like living your best life. When you're making life, you're creating an atmosphere of positivity and light, right? Life is something you don't have to make life the moment that you're born, because you're not cognitive of exactly what life is. But the older you get, the more experience you have, the more that you level up, the more that you grow to understand that life is something to be lived, not watched, right? Making life is something that involves passion, and it involves you really being involved and invested in what you're trying to create. Creating life has so many moving parts and intricacies. Making life is making someone else's life better so that you can have a better feeling on what you're accomplishing, right? I said earlier when I opened this up about social media, people showing their asses, and people in the midst of chaos showing their ass and crisis showing their ass. How many people have you known where you're like, damn, I did not know that this person was that selfish about life. I did not know that this person was so self-centered when it comes to other people and what they're going through. I did not know that this person is such a busybody, worried about what everyone else has and not concentrating on what they have. We've learned a lot about people and about who they are. They're not interested in making life. They're interested in making love, but the love that they have is for themselves as opposed to other people. Love can be something that is a benefit to you. Love can be something else that's detrimental. A lot of people love themselves more than they love their fellow man, more than they love anybody else. They would rather steal from other people's pockets and put into their own rather than spread it around and say, okay, you know what? I have more than enough food. I'm going to share with other people. Can you imagine someone being hungry not having a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of or $1 to get something to eat. And someone else in front of them has a plate that's way bigger than their eyes could even imagine. And they're steady eating, and the only thought that they have in their mind is, I would rather get sick to my stomach and be doubled over in pain because I ate too much than to see you even get one bite. People are literally showing themselves as that. People are literally acting out and not showing a love, a compassion for their fellow man. It is absolutely insane how people have been in 2020. So in 2021, I would say that I hope that a lot of people choose to make life worth living for not only themselves, but for other people, and not just to make love to their own ego and stroke that ego. Because again, like I've said, love can be subjective, right? It can be something that's a noun. You can actually have love for someone. You can actually have it as a verb. Being in love is an action, right? It's an actionable thing. But a life has a beginning and an ending, and yours shows to everybody as to how you carry yourself, the things you say, the things you do, what you accomplish. In 2021, if more people were concentrated on making life more bearable, making life better as a collective, other people, imagine how much more love there would be in the world in a positive way, in a positive affirmation. It doesn't happen too often. 2020 has shown us that there are so many people that we all thought that we knew. People that we would break bread with, people that we'd go on lunch breaks with, people that we would have coffee with. And we've seen the worst of them come out because they're too busy making love with their ego and being about themselves and being about their own process, their own backyard. What people fail to understand is, if you think about the world of real estate, the homes around you can raise the value of your home. If a home next to yours is an eyesore, it's going to bring your value down. Whatever is around your home can lessen what it's worth, right? So if you consistently try to steal from other people, take from other people, and diminish other people's value, that is somehow going to bring your value down. But people don't understand that. They would much rather be like, I have the best of the best. I get the most biggest piece of this pie. Fuck what you're going through. Fuck what you've been through. Fuck where you're at. I don't care about your personal experiences. I'm only concerned with polishing up mine. And it's tragic how people are, because they're too busy making love to their ego as opposed to making life more sustainable and enjoyable for everybody else. If you're eating a 4-course meal, it is not going to affect you if someone else brings me an appetizer. It is not going to affect you. You're still going to get what you're going to get. You're just worried about what's on my plate when you have a bunch of shit on yours. More than enough. More than you need. But you want to have more than I do because it makes you look better to your ego, and it makes you feel better knowing that I have less than you. That is how we have been in 2020. It's about making love versus making life. A lot of people talk about love and being in love and the feeling of love and making love, but really, what are you gaining from it? If you're making love and you're not enjoying it and you're not there in the moment, in the process of it, are you really doing just that? Or are you making love to your ego? Are you stroking your own ego? Love can go from a verb to a noun real quick. Doesn't take much time. But it's about making love versus making life. If you're making life, you're empowering and you're growing. Life is all about growth and things that are substantiated. Some things you see, some things you feel, but life is all encompassing. And if you're busy just concentrating on one piece of life, you're missing the whole experience. Making love versus making life. Are we going to make life in 2021? What you say can often manifest what becomes. So are you going to make life? Are you going to bring forth happiness from where there's only sorrow? Are you going to do everything possible to make riches where there's only debt and being poor? Will that start with your mind or your pocket? Which way are you going? Mom always says, don't bring your trash from one house into your new house. Don't bring your trash from one year into the next year. 2021 was basura for most people. However, I'll flip that and say I learned more about people in my life than I could have ever thought in 2019. Seeing a crisis shows you how people are, shows you what they will do, what they will say to make love to their ego, as opposed to making life beneficial and better for other people. That's a wealth that I can't trade in. That's a wealth that I can't put a dollar amount on. Mom always says that, and I say it every year, and I have to remind myself, don't bring the trash in from last year into this year. You want everything new. Take the experiences you had, sure, grow from them, but keep moving forward, keep pressing forward. That's the way it's supposed to go. Mom always says, give me my flowers now while I'm alive. Don't wait till I'm dead. Let me enjoy them. Let me smell them. Let me appreciate them now. Let me stare at them. Whatever I want to do, just let me be with them while I'm alive so I can see them. So 2020, we've all lost someone. We've all known someone that has lost someone, and it's crazy because all you see on Facebook is, I wish I had more time with this person. I wish I had done more with this person. I wish I had communicated more with this person. If I knew it was going to be the last time I talked to that person, da-da-da-da. If you were busy making life with that person, creating that connection, that bond, you would understand that every conversation should be meaningful. Every moment should be meaningful. Not a piece wasted. Not a part wasted. Like if you think about how the Indians were whenever they made a kill, right? They used every single piece of the animal. No part wasted. That's the way it's supposed to be with your friendships, with your interpersonal relationships. No parts wasted. When you're engaged in conversation, be there, be present in that moment. In 2021, be more amenable to making life instead of making love. Making love is doing things that just feel good for the moment. Making a life is something that you're taking a seed and you're planting it so you can go back and enjoy it later, like a flower. Do it while I'm alive. Don't wait till someone passes away from COVID or cancer or HIV or whatever, complications due to COVID, diabetes, whatever, to go on Facebook and post a little eulogy talking about how awesome of a person they were, how great they were, the memories that you had. Concentrate on making new memories with the people in your life. Don't be present with people that ain't about shit, that aren't bringing any type of value to your life. Some people just like to hang on, and they're only there just to say they were there. They don't mean anything. They want to be there because you're part of the same group, same band, same family. They only want to be present in that. They only want to show a united front, but they're not really ready to have your six. All they want to do is just say that they were there because that's what they feel they're supposed to do. You work together, you live together, you're family, you're related, so therefore you have to put up with bullshit. You have to be present. You have to make love to your ego as opposed to make life, which is building from the ground up, and it requires work. When you're making a life, it requires a lot of work and time and attention to detail. Those are the things that are important. We've been too concentrated on making love in 2020 and worrying about what I'm gonna do for me to get myself in a better position. If me getting myself in a better position brings up a bunch of other people, sure, that is perfectly fine. I don't mind that. But we have to be more mindful and concentrated on making a life and understanding what it takes to build that life so that we can give in to the collective and give in to being better for everybody, not just for ourselves. You can make love or you can make life. Me, I'm concentrated on making life. That's it. No more just love and being present in the moment with whatever situation I'm in. I'm constantly going to be building so that later on down the road, someone will have that process for me and they might build with me in mind. Think about it. You can make love or you can make life. But this has been another edition of Driving with Duck. Hey, type in #Drivin with Duck. Look at some of my old videos. Maybe that'll help you out through some bad times going through. But happy New Year's Eve anyway. I wish you all the best, and I will see you on the other side of this thing in 2021. Love and light, my friends.